Hello, I'm Shey. I'm Shey Johnson from Las Vegas, Nevada, but not originally from Las Vegas, Nevada. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, but howsoever, I'm here today. I decided that I wanted to share my story, and when I talk about my story, this is going to be in regards to October 1, the shooting, the massive shooting that took place here on Las Vegas Boulevard Strip. Today is actually August the 1st. So, since October 1, today is August the 1st, where I am feeling if though I am taking my life back, but there's been a whole lot of things that has happened before I actually gotten to this level. There's not going to be any editing. There's not going to be any face makeup. I am who I am, and I need you to know how I feel, what I was going through, and the purpose of this video is that I pray that it will help somebody else that wasn't able to get counseling, or maybe you feel as though there is no hope out there, or no resources out there, or maybe no one even cares. I need you to know that there is resources out there and that you do matter. At the beginning, when I say the beginning, meaning the first 3 weeks of October, the beginning of October, so the 1st through the 15th, I was probably where you are today, or where you were yesterday, or where you were at the beginning. I am going to make about 10 videos, and between the videos, I am going to share my story because some of it is very emotional, and I want to keep myself together, but I also want to share with you that post-traumatic stress disorder, it's real. Trauma is real. The event that took place, we all know it's real. But maybe there were things that you heard or you seen and people are not talking about it. I'm here to tell you that you're not crazy, because I've heard some things and no one is talking about it. I've seen some things, no one is talking about it. But what I had to do first was acknowledge that I needed help. And sometimes we don't even have my here, just in case I get to crying, I'm not going to cut the video off. So I am prepared, and when I get a little nervous and I'm sharing, being transparent, I was always told to hold a cup or glass or a bottle of ice cold water. So there's some ice cold water in here, and then just look up at the ceiling and bat my eyes, because I do believe that this message is going to be very valuable and very powerful. I want you to know that I am still pending 2 surgeries. My left rotator cuff was torn. So it's not a tear, it's a torn, which I need to have surgery. So believe it or not, there's been some games going around that some folks have been filing a continuance and a continuance, but once I seek with my legal counsel, I can find out what I can say and what I cannot say. But I do want you and everybody else to know what I've been going through, because it's a healing process for me to tell you. So on that particular day, I was working the VIP neon tent. So some of the videos, which that I'm just now starting to watch because I didn't watch TV for about 6 months, which was recommended through one of my counselors. When I say one, that's because I've seen over 5 different counselors, and I'm currently still seeing 4 counselors. So we're not talking about physical therapy. We're talking about mental therapy right now. I'll get into the physical part on another tape. So, but for right now, I want to talk about being there on October 1. This is my second year working the event, and I wasn't even going to work the event, but my part time employer called and said, "Hey, we could really use your help. Why don't you do the event, work all 3 days, and go out in the bang?" We went out in the bang, didn't we? So, but prior to October 1, I had just had surgery. So I don't know if I told you I'm going to be very transparent. If you can see here, I had a thyroid, one of my thyroids removed. So needless to say, when everything was taking place, I couldn't scream like everybody else was able to scream. I ended up tearing some tissue internally from just, you know, So let's go back to October 1. About 10 minutes after 10, concert had started, and normally I would take my break by now, but a couple of the VIP guests was bringing me snacks and just thanking me for the phenomenal hospitality. I'm a hospitality queen. So just the service that I had provided to them for the last 3 days. So just last act on stage, everybody was having a great time. It was one of the best concerts that I have ever attended, and I felt very privileged to have the opportunity and to be a part of such a dynamic concert. When I initially heard the first sounds, like pop, 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 I thought it was fireworks. I thought, wow, well, that's not cool. Doing fireworks right in the middle of Jason. He just basically started. I think he was maybe on his second song. And I looked over to my left and I could see like sparks or maybe lights or whatever. I don't know. It just sounded like fireworks, so no big deal to me. I turned around and finished talking to the guest that was on the front row in section A. I worked section A in the VIP tent. So basically, I was on the ground by the red barricades. I was, if you were to do like a little L shape here, if you will, I'm standing right here. So if it's like this, I'm right here. So I can't go to my left, nor can I go to my right. But basically, my job was to make sure that if you weren't sitting in row A and seat 1, row 1, you were not going to get past me. It was just enough room that if you needed to come through with the wheelchair, it was enough room. Plus, it was dark at the same time. Now, mind you, the barricades, I tried several times to kind of move them, maybe like Friday night and Saturday night, because people were trying to push the barricades so they can get closer to the VIPs, what have you. And I kept trying to push the barricades back, but I was unable to do them. I was unable to lift them. So, needless to say, fireworks. I'm not thinking about anything else, but it was fireworks. Then, a little while later, time enough for me to maybe put some lipstick on and put a mint in my mouth, I heard the da 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 da. Okay, well, still, what is that? Then I heard people running and screaming, saying gunshots, I'm still standing there because it's like, really? We're in Vegas. We're at a country concert. This can't be happening. And what do you mean somebody's shooting? Who the heck is shooting? And where are they shooting from? At the same time this is happening, I see someone get shot. So with me doing this video, I'm actually an arm length from my cell phone. That's how close I was. Never in my life have I ever witnessed someone being shot, being around guns. Give me a moment. And I witnessed someone being shot in front of me. I'm looking at people reaching, trying to climb over the barricades. I still didn't move. My body couldn't move. I could not process what was happening. And then all I know is I'm being jerked this way, jerked the other way. People are running, and I'm still like holding on to this rail, like what the heck is going on? And then I remember somebody screaming, saying, someone's shooting. There's a shooter on the ground, someone's shooting. By now I'm seeing people on the ground, people diving on top of people. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm not going to come out of this. I remember getting on the ground because I couldn't go to my right, nor could I go to my left. I crawled up underneath the bleachers and was trying to tell other people to crawl up underneath the bleachers. I was unable to take the bars loose. So I'm getting up underneath the bleachers. And as I'm yelling to people, get up underneath the bleachers, and then I hear someone yelling, get off your cell phone, get off your doggone cell phone, but you know the words. And I want to make sure that this is about as clean as possible, just in case some of my young people are watching it. So all kind of language was used up underneath the stage. And where's your God now? Someone is shooting, and I'm up underneath, and I lost my cell phone. I lost my glasses. It's dark. We are actually squeezing each other's hands up underneath the stage because we're trying to be very quiet. We're saying, shh, shh, shh. The shooter is on top of our heads. So remember, I'm in the VIP tent. I'm thinking the shooter is on top of my head for hours. I'm thinking any day I'm next. I didn't have a phone. I remember reaching for my fanny pack, making sure my driver's license was still in my fanny pack. And the first thought came to mind was, when they find my body, they will know who I am, because I still have my ID on me. Like I said, this is going to be very difficult, but there's a reason that I believe I need to put this out so that others can heal, and then others will know what you're going through and what you have been going through, you can get some help. There's as much help out there as possible, but a lot of times when you don't have the connections, you don't have the resources, and you don't know who to call, you feel helpless. And if you're listening to me, I don't want you to feel helpless. I want you to get help. And if you were there, there's help available for you. Some kind of way you can email me and let me see what I can do to help you. Shey, Shey Johnson at Cox.net. Shey Johnson at Cox.net. So as we're squeezing hands and we're kicking, because we're not wanting to make any noise, any sound. I remember the young lady behind me came in from Fresno. Why on God earth did we bring in people from Fresno to work security when there's so many people here in Las Vegas that need jobs? They shuttled people in on a bus from Fresno to work security. I don't know. But at the end of the day, they were there. I'm under the stage and I'm asking her if I can use her phone. She had 3% left on her phone. And I said, please let me call my parents. I called my mom. And my mom hung up. Number one, she didn't recognize the telephone number, so she hung up. And number two, my mother goes to bed about 8:30, and it was after 10. She was asleep. So I called again. And I was like, Mom, don't hang up. And I'm whispering, Mom, I'm getting ready to die. Can you imagine receiving a phone call from your child? And your child is telling you that she's not coming out of this. That there is a shooter on top of her head, and he's shooting people. I told my mom I was not going to run. I was going to hide up underneath the bleachers. People are running. They're shooting. I'm not going to run. You can find my body up underneath the VIP neon stage. Those were the last words to my parents. And of course, my mom and my dad are screaming. But I didn't have much time. I needed to get off the phone. Then I thought, this is it. I took my hat. I placed a hat over my face. And I turned over and I laid there. And I said, you play dead. I laid there and I played dead. I don't know what time it was when I heard someone call and came under there and was saying, is there anybody under here? Some people were saying, yeah, I've been hit, I've been shot. I wasn't going to move because I didn't know who the person was. I was going to stay there. And I told my mom I was going to stay there. Come and get me because I'm not moving. And I stayed there. When I did come out, and I'm looking at the officer dead in his eyes was fear. And he said, ma'am, I need you to run. I looked at the officer and I said, run where? He said, you got to run across that field. Run towards MGM, Tropicana, or Hooters. First I thought, I'm not going to make it that far. But I have on some shorts, some tennis shoes. You have the shield on. You're totally protected. You got on a bulletproof vest. You look scared to death. And you telling me to run. I said, no, sir, I'm not running. I'm holding on to the rail. We've got this tug of war thing going on. And I said, I'm not running. Another officer came and said, ma'am, you've got to leave. I'm looking at bodies. The barricades, the ones that I couldn't take loose. There's bodies on the barricades. And I'm watching them take them out. In my mind, I'm thinking, when I take off running, I'm going to get shot. I'm going to be shot in my back. So as I'm standing there trying to get my breath together, process what's getting ready to happen, that I've got to run across that field. The only way out is gate 4. And actually that's the same way that I came in. I got to make it all the way across that field. I'm not going to make it. I am going to stop here, because in the next video I want to talk about how I did make it, how I drove off the curb, ran up on the curb, ran up on the sidewalk, was following this white pickup truck that had people hanging out of the back of the pickup truck, IV bags, hanging, people shot. I don't want to make this graphic at all, but I just want to tell my story and hope that I'm able to help somebody else get help. The nightmares don't go away. It's August the 1st, and I fell out of my bed last week because I was still running. I was running as though it was October the 1st. I am going to leave. I love my little, this is my little sanctuary. And I am going to close this video out with just saying, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Keep dreaming. Keep living. You matter, and you do have a purpose in life. And continue to pray for our 58 angels. Continue to pray for us all. God bless you.